All right, folks, welcome on back here this Monday afternoon, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back, of course, this time of the day for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Chuck. Great to see Mark, who looks like he just clocked in a UVXY trade. Folks, really quick, just make sure you always post your entry point just for all of us live inside the trading room. If you do post any sort of trade or profit, always would love to see where you took the trade from. Great to see Deb and Ray as well. Great to see Kathleen, who got out on PLTR with a 15-cent profit just a moment ago. She was actually in from 1267 at least. Great to see Kathleen, or great to see Norman, I should say, and Alex as well as Kathleen. And great to see all of us on YouTube and Facebook Live, our social streams here heading into this Monday afternoon. So we have class lined up later on today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're looking for a little crypto, folks, I talked your ear off on Saturday. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I'll show you the video. I'll show you where to find it on our YouTube channel, talking all about crypto, my thoughts going forward, at least for the next couple weeks. So, just be on the lookout for that. But for right now, the EXTN trade, at least heading into the afternoon, this has been like watching the grass grow. It's like been chewing on tinfoil, trying to anticipate any sort of move up or down on this stock. Ended up making a bit of a dump off after the market opened up today at 9:30. And hey, we did say that this stock was easy to borrow. It was shortable at least. So this actually led to a pretty good short trade right out the gate here. It ended up bouncing ultimately off of support around 430ish, 435. And for right now, it's trying. I guess that's uh, being kind, trying to push up at least here, the EXTN. Just with the way this is starting to push up for right now, we'll put this on our main watch list for the afternoon. Brian says, yeah, I want to see that. No problem. Before we finish up, I'll at least refer you to that video. But let's go right from top to bottom. Otherwise, I want to make sure that all of our students have enough time to prep and get into class prior to the Phase 1 stock course continuing today. So let's keep it going from this point forward, folks. The KSS trade, Coles, we ended up seeing them like rumored buyout, right? Potential buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal. So ended up making a nice pop prior to 8 a.m. Eastern time once that news came out. Then from there, ended up just chopping up and down throughout the course of the day. For a more expensive stock like this, it's not really anything to write home about, at least the move that this made today. The Macy's trade, though, ended up definitely breaking off heading into the early afternoon, shortly after 12:30 Eastern time. Ended up breaking above resistance off of 25. And actually, I don't have my SPY chart up here for right now, so allow me to do just that. You can see at least from 12:30, 1 o'clock Eastern time, the S&P, the Dow, of course, with it, just the major indices ended up making a nice little bounce back up. And Macy's, one of the beneficiaries of it so far heading into the afternoon. Hey, this one looks a lot more tempting compared to the Kohl's trade, not just because of price, given more so than anything the recent afternoon run up on Macy's. I'll come back to this like really at the end. No problem coming back to this stock and just giving it a second look. I just want to see if there's anything looking even better, perhaps. So we'll keep going. The Pixie trade definitely doesn't seem to be looking better, but ended up making a nice pop shortly after the open. Little slingshot as it dropped from 150 to 135, then bounced really nicely from that point and took off pretty well. May have skipped over this ARDS trade, I guess. Hey, this one ended up making a nice pop, not right out the gate, took a little while, but ended up making a nice continued move up later on, going into the early afternoon. For right now, it's trying to bottom out right around 190 and break back above 2. In the same line of thinking as Macy's, I'll give this a second eye at the end of this meeting. Not fully committed to it just yet. And that will take us down to number 8, GMVD here, trading over or nearly 12 million shares, up nearly 20% as well. This stock is ended up making a nice pop right out the gate, as you could see, and then tried breaking higher, but failed to do so right off of 550 resistance. And for right now, it's trying to inch up, but actually, and this shake made me look at it. I'm looking, I'm like, what's the liquidity like on the order book here? And this last shake made me speculate. So it's got a big spread right now. Order book otherwise is relatively decent. I mean, some larger orders around the bid and the ask, but the spread is just that's a little troubling. So not particular about that. And if we happen to have a continued move down heading into the close, if the market's topped off here and began to pull back going into this meeting, No, I didn't mean to click on Macy's there. Then I would say then trading something like UVXY could be a pretty good opportunity. Should the markets continue to fall off, then it would be strongly assumed that UVXY will continue to make a move back up or bounce. So for anyone that does particularly well on these ETFs, then, hey, put it on your watch list at least to begin. All right. All right, we'll see what else is out there, folks. UVXY at times could even lock my screen up a bit, so going to try and move away from that pretty quickly. CVNA having a hell of a day here too, albeit really expensive, but I don't know. Is this? Oh, Carvana. Okay, interesting. Dropped off the last few days going into the end of last week, beginning of this, and I guess nice recovery right now. See what else is out there on the gainer side for the meantime here, folks. Just going down the list, looking at some familiar names just from weeks and months past. Hall of Fame, HOFV, JWN going to move with Macy's and the Kohl's trade. This one more within our price range, like the Macy's stock. If I'm going to commit to one, it would just be Macy's. They all move pretty similarly anyway. Chewy, we saw this get called out earlier, ended up making a hell of a pop. Really nice breakout from 39 up to 42 and change and pulled back from that point. Um, Again, the order book kind of thin. Not too particular about it right now. I'll tell you, that just about wraps up the gainer side, really. So we'll hop over to the losers list. I have no idea what happened to this TKLF stock, down over 80% right now, and certainly with it down as much as it is, you would anticipate a possible dead cat bounce, some sort of temporary squeeze back up. It's not looking like it, folks. It's not looking like it today. And don't hold your breath waiting for that bounce back up either. PT, Rito, all really cheap and down big too, pretty close to the ground floor, like I was saying, earlier in the morning meeting. This one, OPK, we could have shorted. We actually could have traded this stock. This is one that I was saying wasn't too close to the ground floor and it was shortable. In hindsight, it's easy to say that, but in terms of a short, I'd much rather look at a stock around $3-4 to try and short compared to, a dollar. 68 cents, whatever the hell PT is. This OPK is still in play, though. I mean, it's at the lows right now. It's definitely more of a level one stock, possible level one short should it end up breaking below the next support, presumptively off of 320 and 318, the low there. That could be a pretty interesting play. I don't mind slipping the OPK trade just on the back end of our list. And with that, sheesh, number 50 here on the loser side, I think is down like 12+%. So, folks, there's definitely a lot more that we haven't looked at that's down big. So I'm going to need your help for all of us on Facebook Live, YouTube, and of course, for all of us live inside Cyber Group. If there's anything else that I missed that is either moving with the market or making some sort of respectable move, then definitely let me know. Norman says BTBD is recovering from some bottom. You could say now it is. It's finally back over my line. I have my daily chart at 287. Took long enough. I don't know how fully committed I am to this just yet. I mean, it's technically up 30% from the prior day's close, but ended up making a big drop off from earlier today. This played out exactly how we thought it would, pretty much. Look at the BSFC stock. Pretty much the same exact play back from Friday morning. Literally same. This one's making a bit of a move up right now, Norman. That BTBD stock. But I'll pass on it for right now, at least. Mark says, just got here. Mark D, that is, in our chat board. He says, Peloton had a nice day. Definitely did, yeah. Peloton ended up making a really sharp pop right out the gate. That was actually one that we were pretty much all over right from the market open. I don't think it was on the main special morning watch list I put out, but needless to be said, like an AMC trade, a SoFi trade, a Palantir like Kathleen was getting out of just before we started this meeting. All of those stocks are stocks that could make a decent move based off the market or just based off the amount of volume they trade per day. So I would only imagine, so long as Peloton stays within our price range here, Mark, that this will be on our side list automatically going forward. AMC too, of course, but we've been following that for forever at this point, pretty much a year to this day from the beginning of the meme debacle. All right, folks, let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right that you would want me to look at or check out. But really briefly, just to quickly show the price of Bitcoin for right now, I did my full review over the weekend back on Saturday. I showed you all of my special lines and everything. For some reason, it's not loading up the same set of lines. I'm on the Bitcoin chart here for right now, for this afternoon. So at least going into the day, let me just break open the hourly chart. That's the drop off that we had going into the last few days. I made a video on Saturday about it when it was pretty much right off of 34 here at the time, I think it was, before it ended up kind of coasting along. And then this morning, at first, it looked really ugly with the way the market was looking. It ended up breaking down pretty early here, especially after the market opened up. But since, nice little bounce back up, and if you were following the video I made back from Saturday afternoon, it's back above the line I drew roughly around 34.5. So, this is the video that's right now on our YouTube channel. And what I'm going to do is copy and paste that link for all of us live inside Cyber Group right now, for all of us on Facebook Live YouTube, right over here. You can see that video. I posted it right in the comment section. I know you can't copy and paste that right there if you're watching on the recording, but just go right to our YouTube channel, that is, and it's the second most updated video that we have. All right, so folks, I think all in all, we only got about 3 symbols to work with, and lo and behold, one of them is an ETF. So really, hey, there's plenty else out there that is tradable, that could make some sort of possible move. Those are a lot of ambiguous words meshed into one sentence. So, that's where I say I would really just start and stick with what we have on the watch list so far. If you personally do well on a side list stock that could move with the market, then I'm sure that you'd be more inclined to follow that stock in particular for the afternoon. All right, so do that if that's the case. But otherwise, I know that Rich will be back on the mic going into 3 o'clock Eastern time. If there's anything else that makes a bit of a move, we'll look to collectively work together as a team and look to call it out before the run really happens. All right, so for all of us right now, I know that Rich is going to repost the link for class coming up, the Phase 1 course lined up at 3:05 Eastern time in just about 20 or so minutes. I look forward to it, folks. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.